Good evening, welcome back to Visionary Fragrances. My name's George. Today I'm talking about my favourite ever designer fragrance. So it's quite an exciting video for me and I can't wait to talk to you about it. But first we're going to talk about and compare his older brother. Enjoy the video. The two fragrances, if you don't know already, are going to be Dior Fahrenheit, the original. This is the older brother. And my favourite designer fragrance, Dior Fahrenheit Le Parfum. So we're going to start off by talking about the original. This is a classic. If you're into fragrances in any way, you would have heard about this. It's one of those fragrances that has been out since the late 1980s and it stood the test of time. It's still being sold in great volumes today, and I imagine that it's always going to be on sale. Now, you would have heard that this has a very prominent gasoline note in, and if you think that, well, you're going to be right. But when I first heard about Dior Fahrenheit and I heard about the gasoline note, I was expecting this to be very rugged, very masculine, which it is, but I didn't expect it to be fresh and airy. But when you first spray this on, it's got a beautiful, fresh, airy opening, and that is not something that you'd expect from just hearing, oh, it smells like gasoline. So this opens up with a lovely lemon and mandarin in the opening, which give it that kind of fresh, fruity, airy vibe. And then in the heart you've got violet leaf, white florals, and in the base there's leather and patchouli. So the white florals, the violet leaf and the leather are going to be what gives you that kind of gasoline vibe that is so famous. And it is there, you can really smell it, but the opening is just beautiful. It's so fresh and it's not something that you would expect. For me, the original Dior Fahrenheit makes for the perfect signature fragrance. If you're looking for a fragrance that you could wear every day, a fragrance that is gonna last most of the day and gonna make you smell very, very good, this is a great choice. It's gonna be a universal fragrance, one you can wear in the summer, the winter, the spring, in the autumn. It's gonna be an all seasons, all occasion fragrance. So a great signature scent. I think if you're under the age of 30, I would definitely still try it, but as a signature scent, I'm not sure it's going to work so well. But for someone sort of 30 and above, this is going to make for a great signature scent. It's got a kind of like a bad boy feel about it. If you imagine someone in a kind of leather jacket, someone who's, maybe got facial hair, someone who's a bit rugged, not someone so clean cut and shaven, but someone who's got, a bit of ruggedness about them. I think this is a wonderful fragrance. As I say, a great signature scent. When you're wearing it casually, it still works. I might not wear it to the gym as such, but definitely going to work, going out for nights out with your friends, with your partner, and general just chilling, it does work really well. So this is the original Dior Fahrenheit, and I would recommend anyone to try this because you have to try it to get that old school DNA, get the gasoline vibe, and find out why this has been such a popular fragrance for over 30 years. We should just touch on performance very, very quickly. I know you guys like to hear about performance. Performance on this is an EDT, very good for an EDT. Projects out heavily for the first 1.5 hours, I would say, on my skin, and then it lasts throughout most of the day. And on clothes, this will last easily the whole day. So for an EDT or a fragrance in general, actually, it's got good performance. Now we're going to talk about my favourite fragrance of all time, and we're going to get to why it's my favourite fragrance of all time towards the end of the video. This is Dior Fahrenheit Le Parfum. This came out, I believe, in around 2015, and it only comes in a 75ml bottle, so it's very small, and I think you pay around between £70 and £80 for the 75ml, so it's not going to be the cheapest of designer fragrances, but this is a much sweeter, a boozier and a more modern take on the original that we just spoke about. You're not going to have any freshness in this Dior Fahrenheit Parfum. There's going to be no freshness. You're going to get sweetness, booziness and sexiness. It's very, very beautiful fragrance. In the opening you're going to have kind of suede and mandarin notes, so the mandarin is still there from the original. So you're gonna have the original mandarin note, which give it this kind of juiciness, but there's no lemon, no bergamot, and so it's not gonna be anywhere near as fresh. As you move into the heart of this fragrance, you're gonna have the violet leaf that is there in the original. So that is what gives the kind of gasoline vibe that we spoke about. But in this, you're gonna have the violet leaf and the suede. So you still get that kind of gasoline vibe, but it's a bit different. You also get rum, and that gives it that kind of boozy characteristic, which I love. And in the base, you have a note called bourbon vanilla, which is absolutely outstanding. I love vanilla in fragrances, but this is a boozy vanilla. Mix that with the rum, mix that with the suede, with the mandarin orange. This is just such a beautiful fragrance. When I first tried this, I remember how blown away I was, and especially as I hadn't experienced many fragrances before I tried this, it was such an eye-opener into the world of fragrance, and it's one of the reasons why I embarked on this journey. So the notes, I'm sure they sound wonderful. It's a wonderful fragrance, and it really kind of encapsulates all those notes, and they work so well together. We spoke about the original being a great signature scent. This is not going to be a good signature scent. I mean, sure, you can wear it as a signature scent if you want to, but for me, it's not something I want to wear every day. This is going to be a special occasion fragrance, something that I want to wear, something I will wear when I want to impress. I'm dressed in nice clothes and I want to smell really good. That is when I reach for this fragrance. The projection is outstanding. It's unbelievable. I'll tell you a quick story. About 2 years ago, after I just bought this, I wore it to my friend's apartment, and it was during COVID. Like in the first 2 months of COVID, we had to do socially distancing, all that stuff, and he was sat on the other side of the room from me. And after me sitting there for about 2 minutes, he said, why do you smell so good? What is that smell? And I couldn't believe how far this had travelled. So this is obviously a good performer. I know it's a good performer, and it just smells outstanding in the air. So, why is this my favourite fragrance of all time? Firstly, the smell is unbelievable. I just love the smell itself, the booziness, the vanilla, the suede. It's a beautiful smell. So that's the first reason why it's my favourite designer fragrance. Second reason is this is the first fragrance I bought that was kind of more than £40. I'd owned Versace Eros, what else, 1 million, a few other ones, cheaper fragrances. This was the first kind of fragrance I bought that was above that kind of £70 mark, and another reason is just because it's so unique. There's not another designer fragrance that smells like this, and for that, and also it's niche quality. So for that reason, or those three reasons, this is my favourite designer fragrance. Well, which one should you buy? I mean, it's a difficult question because it's not like comparing two fragrances that are very similar. They're actually both unique in their own way. So if you want to, and you like the way I describe both these fragrances, and you feel they would have a place in your collection, then buy both. Fahrenheit, if you're over 30 and you want a signature fragrance, it's a great choice. Or if you just want that kind of unique old school gasoline vibe, then absolutely go for it. Fahrenheit Le Parfum, I would encourage every person to have it in their collection if they love vanilla, they love boozy fragrances. It's an absolute masterpiece. So yeah, I don't know if I could say you should just buy one or the other, but my favourite is of course Le Parfum. But if you're looking for a signature fragrance, go for the original. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Hope you really enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed talking to you about Fahrenheit Le Parfum. I've been wanting to talk about it for a long time, so I'm really glad I finally got to tell you about it. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you in a few days with another video. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Take care.